We're here with Regan Denham, the head women's lacrosse coach at Liberty University. Regan, we appreciate you taking some time here for us. You've been here since May on staff. Have you gotten acclimated to Lynchburg? You liking life here so far?
Definitely starting to. It's been an adjustment since the students came back, just getting used to a little bit of traffic on campus, but I'm enjoying it so far.
What first attracted you to Liberty University?
Well, I think what I was most excited about is the fact that we are a Division I university that has the religious Christian component. And in terms of lacrosse, there's only 3 other schools in the whole country, and they're all Division III schools that have a similar component where you're attending convocation every week, and it's really, I guess, there's a spiritual focus to the university.
And you mentioned most of those being the Division III programs. You have a pretty heavy background there from Springfield. You've also spent some time at Averett, just down the road in Danville. Having, I guess, had been at Averett, did that help with your knowledge of this area, already having a pre-existing knowledge kind of this area in terms of recruiting and other things?
I would say it hasn't been as helpful as I would like in terms of recruiting, just because lacrosse is still so new to Virginia, especially Southern Virginia. In Northern Virginia, it's definitely grown, but in terms of like North Carolina and Southern Virginia, it's still really in its developing stages. So it hasn't helped me as much as I would have liked.
So you got to get the word out then.
Definitely. I'm hopefully hosting a camp next summer, so I'm hoping to involve a lot of local kids. We do have a couple recruits from the local high schools, so we're excited about them.
Awesome. Well, what can you tell us so far about this year's squad? I know tryouts are coming up here pretty soon. What kind of players are you looking for, and who do we already have in place this year?
Well, currently we have 2 girls who are on the team already, who have started strength and conditioning. One is a transfer from St. Bonaventure. Great attacker, great speed, stick work, awesome. The other is a freshman who actually is a former volleyball player. We're kind of converting her to lacrosse, but she's got great size. We've been training now for a couple days, and she's really picking it up quickly. For our open tryout, we have girls from all over the country who are interested. A lot of them from the Northeast. Obviously, it's kind of the hotbed for lacrosse. But I'm excited. We had our barbecue last night, so I got to meet a lot of the girls for the first time. And we'll start tryouts are the 9th, 10th, and 11th of September. So I'll really get sort of a feel once we actually have the tryouts.
Now, as we're visiting here with Regan Denham, the head women's lacrosse coach at Liberty University, you spent some time up in the Northeast at Springfield. How is it different there as opposed to here? Because like you said, the word maybe isn't out so much on lacrosse around here in this area.
Well, having grown up in New York and played all the way through, and a lot of the girls that I graduated, that was kind of a goal to go away to college and continue playing. It's sort of kind of ingrained in the girls that are playing. They're looking to continue their lacrosse career in college. Whereas locally and some of the newer lacrosse spots like the Deep South and out in the Midwest, California, girls are just starting to realize that they can still continue to play lacrosse in college. And so it really is, it's growing. It's the fastest growing sport right now in the U.S., so it's very exciting.
Now, one thing that you've been noted for is, I think, having quick results wherever you've gone, it seems like. I mean, you took that Averett squad there, and they hadn't won a game the year before to, I think, having a winning record the next year. And then also just looking over your track record, Springfield only in their 2nd season.
They're a little bit more established, but Missouri Baptist.
Missouri Baptist is, I'm sorry, what I meant. And they're only in their 2nd season. You took them to a winning record as well. What's the first thing that you do going in? As far as, this has got to be done before we can get moving in the right direction?
The first thing is to get quality athletes. That's really, I don't mind having to teach the girls. We focus a lot on fundamentals, a lot on stick work, just passing and catching, because if the ball's on the ground, you're not doing so well. So really focus on finding girls that have played other sports, especially with the newer program. Some basketball girls that translates really, really well. Soccer girls, if they've had any field hockey experience. And taking those girls and then really focusing on the fundamentals, because that's really what helps you have a strong foundation and just lets you be able to move the ball and I guess do what you want on the field.
No, you're not going to be taking any of Kerry Green's girls away from him there.
I wish. I would be happy to take any of Coach Green's girls, but
That's kind of interesting, though. In the basketball, there's some similarities there. How so?
Definitely in terms of the type of plays that we run. Even though in lacrosse, it's similar to ice hockey, we're able to play behind the net. But we do similar plays where, like in basketball, where you're swinging the ball from one side, changing the point of attack, and just moving the ball and working in patterns where you're cutting through, set a lot of picks. You can even have girls kind of post up in front of the net. So it's very, very similar to basketball. And then in terms of defense, same sort of thing. As a girl comes in, you're forcing her in a direction, probably to her weak side, much like you would do in basketball. And you have to have quick feet, and you're just sliding. If a girl's going in, there's going to be a defensive slide so that she's in a double team. So similar as if in basketball, if they're driving the lane, you're going to slide and kind of help out.
Interesting. We've talked about you building Missouri Baptist, helping to build them. What, I guess, are we hoping for this year and this season at Liberty, with it being such a young program as well?
This year, I'm really hoping to kind of lay the foundation. We want to have a roster of 20, 25 girls that can start to, learn our offense and start to implement kind of our defensive strategy and our transition that we're going to be using, so that when we bring in our large recruiting class for next year, we'll kind of already have that established instead of having to start all over with a fresh recruiting class. I'm really hoping there's a lot of our conference is the National Lacrosse Conference, which is a new conference. And so I'm hoping a lot of the teams, Jacksonville's brand new this year, Presbyterian added in the last 2 years, Detroit Mercy, I think last year was their first year. So we're in a conference with a lot of new teams, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to be competitive with those teams.
So relatively, you're up against the same kind of challenges that they are.
Yes, aside from the fact that they had a year to recruit, yes.
Very good. What are some of the differences here, I guess, between building at the D3 level or NAIA level and building here at Division I?
The biggest difference is just the size and speed of the competition and the type of girls that I would like to come in. Division I is just so much faster, so much more athletic than Division III, and so that's kind of the biggest challenge, to be able to attract those type of girls to the school, because there's lots of girls around the country who would love to come to a Division I school and play, but they might not have that athleticism that you really need.
All right. Well, Regan, is there anything else we should know about the lacrosse program as far as where you guys are right now, or anything that you'd like to say to everyone else watching?
I don't think so. Just we have at least one home game this year, and we're hoping to get some fans out for it, and we would love to the athletic department has been so supportive, but we would love to get a bunch of fans out, I guess, for our first home game. So.
All right, thank you very much. This is Regan Denham, the head women's lacrosse coach at Liberty University, taking some time here for us. And for more information on the women's lacrosse program, you can check out libertyflames.com.